One of the darkest chapters in Canadian history brought back into the spotlight again today at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. For more than a century, First Nations children were pulled away from their families, abused sexually and physically and mentally, and left to carry a burden that has haunted them and has haunted the country and the church ever since. Survivors of the schools came to the Victoria Conference Centre today to share their horrifying memories of abuse. And CTV's Joe Perkins was there.
It's a message that's tough to get out.
I'm not prepared to give my experience right now.
Some remember the details.
I can see that face sometimes, and I smell that body odor.
Dark stories that since February have been pouring up and down Vancouver Island. Today, the tears arrived in the capital region. The stories of serious sexual abuse are shocking.
I've lost a brother with residential schools. My dad got hung up by the thumbs with residential schools.
But Canada's national chief says the message must be passed on.
We first need to support them. We need to understand what the real history was, and then we need to get about writing a new story that's filled with hope and promise of healing and real reconciliation.
One that begins with a younger generation that unfortunately can relate.
I felt so alone because my brothers and sisters weren't there. It was just me and her and him.
He says abuse at home forced his siblings to run away and led him to a foster home. The student has never shared his story publicly, but says he was inspired by his ancestors' stories.
It feels like a lot of, it feels like it's all just coming out. It feels really good.
Therapist says she lost, and I realized that I'm scarred for life. The pain may never go away.
The sharing is meant to help.
It eases every time they tell the story, it eases a little bit. Oh, I'm not the only one.
A lesson Nicholas learned today and something he hopes is passed on.
We in fact need to smash that status quo to support every Canadian at every age group.
The chief says it's all about writing a new future, one full of hope for all Canadians to see. Joe Perkins, CTV News, Victoria.